The strange thing about fake friends is that you rarely realize they're fake while the friendship is still comfortable. At first, everything feels normal. You laugh together, share stories, maybe even feel like you've found people who understand you. There are group chats, late-night talks, random plans that turn into memories. Nothing seems suspicious. Nothing feels forced. And because humans naturally want connection, we rarely question the people who give us the feeling of belonging. But something subtle always begins to appear over time. It's not a dramatic betrayal. It's not one clear moment where the truth reveals itself like a movie scene. Instead, it's a slow realization that creeps into your mind during quiet moments. You start noticing patterns. You notice who disappears when life stops being fun. You notice who becomes uncomfortable when you grow. You notice who only calls when they need something. And suddenly, you begin asking yourself a question that feels heavier than expected. Are these people actually my friends? Or have we just been sharing time? Real friendship is one of the rarest forms of connection in life. Not because people don't want it, but because it requires something most people struggle to offer consistently: sincerity. A fake friend is not always a bad person. That's one of the hardest truths to accept. Many fake friends are simply people who like the benefits of friendship more than the responsibility of it. They enjoy the laughs, the support, the company, the distraction from loneliness. But when friendship requires patience, honesty, or sacrifice, something changes. Their energy shifts. You might notice that conversations revolve mostly around them. At first, it doesn't seem like a problem. Everyone needs someone to listen. But over time, you realize something strange. When you talk about your own struggles, the attention slowly drifts away. They might interrupt. They might change the topic. They might respond with something quick before returning to their own story. It's not always obvious, but the imbalance grows. Real friends, on the other hand, listen in a way that feels different. They don't listen just to reply. They listen to understand. There's curiosity in their questions. There's patience in their silence. You can tell they are actually present with you, rather than simply waiting for their turn to speak. Another place where fake friendships quietly reveal themselves is during success. Most people assume fake friends only disappear during hard times, but success can expose hidden feelings even faster. When something good happens in your life, a new opportunity, progress in your career, personal growth, you expect your friends to celebrate with you. Sometimes they do, but sometimes the reaction feels slightly off. The smile is there, but something behind it feels tight. The congratulations come, but they are quickly followed by comparisons or jokes that subtly bring the moment down. The conversation moves away from your achievement almost immediately. You might even hear comments that sound harmless on the surface, but carry a strange undertone. Must be nice. You just got lucky. I wish things were that easy for me. These comments don't always come from open jealousy. Often they come from insecurity. But regardless of the reason, they reveal something important. Your growth makes them uncomfortable. Real friends respond differently. When something good happens to you, they celebrate it without hesitation. Your progress doesn't threaten them because they don't see life as a competition. They see your success as proof that good things are possible, not as a reminder that they are falling behind. You can feel the difference immediately. Their excitement feels genuine. Their support doesn't contain hidden tension. But perhaps the clearest moment that separates fake friends from real ones happens when life becomes inconvenient. Everyone likes being around you when you are happy, energetic, and easy to be with. Good moods attract people naturally. Fun experiences bring everyone together. But the real test of friendship appears during the moments that are quiet, uncomfortable, or emotionally heavy. Maybe you go through a difficult period. Maybe you lose motivation, face a personal struggle, or simply feel lost about where your life is heading. This is where the circle often changes. Some people slowly disappear. They respond less. Plans become harder to schedule. Messages get shorter. The same people who once wanted to spend time with you suddenly seem too busy. You may wonder if you did something wrong. In reality, what happened is simpler than it feels. The version of you they enjoyed is temporarily gone, and they don't know how to connect with the version that remains. Real friends are different. They may not always know the perfect words. They may not solve your problems or magically fix your mood, but they stay present. Sometimes presence alone says more than advice ever could. A real friend doesn't need you to be entertaining all the time. They understand life includes quiet struggles and confusing phases. They sit with you during those moments, instead of waiting for you to become fun again. Another difference appears in how people handle your vulnerability. Opening up about fears, insecurities, or personal experiences requires trust. When you share something meaningful with someone, you are giving them access to a part of your life that isn't visible to everyone. Fake friends treat vulnerability carelessly. Sometimes they repeat personal things you told them in private conversations with others. Sometimes they turn those moments into jokes later. And sometimes they remember your weaknesses only when they want to win an argument. When that happens, something inside you closes. You become more guarded, more careful about what you share. Real friends protect your vulnerability. They understand that personal conversations are not stories to pass around for entertainment. They respect the trust you placed in them. You feel safe opening up because nothing you say becomes ammunition later. There is also a quiet feeling that exists around different kinds of friendships, and most people sense it long before they can explain it. With fake friends, there is often an invisible pressure to perform. You feel like you need to be interesting, funny, or entertaining to keep their attention. Silence feels awkward. Serious conversations feel uncomfortable. You constantly adjust yourself to fit the energy of the group. It's subtle, but exhausting. With real friends, the atmosphere feels different. You don't have to perform a version of yourself. You can show up tired, quiet, excited, confused, or completely unsure about life. The friendship doesn't depend on your mood that day. You can sit together without forcing conversation. You can disagree without fearing the end of the relationship. Authenticity replaces performance. And maybe that's the deepest difference of all. Fake friendships survive on roles. Everyone plays a certain character within the group dynamic. As long as you continue playing that role, the friendship feels stable. But the moment you change, when you grow, evolve, or question things, the dynamic becomes fragile. Real friendships are flexible. They grow as people grow. Your interests can change. Your goals can shift. Your personality can mature. The friendship adapts instead of collapsing. Time also reveals things that excitement hides in the beginning. Many friendships start strong because shared environments bring people together. School, work, hobbies, or mutual friends create constant interaction. When you see someone every day, closeness forms almost automatically. But when circumstances change, something interesting happens. Some people slowly drift away because the environment was the only thing connecting you. Once that disappears, there is no real foundation left. Real friendships survive distance. You might not talk every week. Life might take both of you in different directions. But when you reconnect, the conversation flows naturally. The connection hasn't disappeared because it was never dependent on convenience. It was built on genuine care. Recognizing fake friends in your life can be uncomfortable because it forces you to question memories and experiences you once valued. It can make you feel foolish for trusting people who didn't value the friendship in the same way. But understanding this difference is part of growing emotionally. Not every person who enters your life is meant to stay forever. Some friendships teach you lessons about boundaries. Some show you what kind of energy you want to avoid. Others reveal how important honesty and loyalty actually are. And then there are the rare friendships that remain steady through different seasons of life. The people who check in without needing a reason. The people who celebrate your growth instead of competing with it. The people who tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable, because they care more about your well-being than about keeping everything pleasant. These friendships feel calm rather than dramatic. There is no constant tension about where you stand, no guessing games about loyalty, no hidden calculations about what each person is gaining from the relationship. There is simply mutual respect. In the end, recognizing fake friends isn't about becoming cynical or suspicious of everyone around you. It's about learning to observe the small patterns that reveal people's intentions. Who shows up when life becomes inconvenient? Who respects your boundaries instead of pushing them? Who listens to your thoughts without turning every conversation back to themselves? Who supports your growth instead of quietly resenting it? These questions matter because time is one of the most valuable things you have. The people you spend it with influence how you think, how you feel, and how you see yourself. Surrounding yourself with people who only appreciate the useful or entertaining parts of you slowly erodes your sense of authenticity. You begin shaping your personality around what others expect rather than who you actually are. But real friends create the opposite effect. They remind you that you don't have to become someone else to be accepted. They value the unfiltered version of you, the one that exists beyond social roles and expectations. And that kind of connection is rare. So rare, in fact, that many people spend years surrounded by acquaintances, companions, and social circles without ever experiencing it fully. Which leads to a final question worth thinking about. If you remove the laughter, the parties, the shared environments, and the convenience, which people in your life would still choose to stay connected with you simply because they value who you are? Those are the friendships that matter. Everything else is just time spent together. If any part of this made you pause and think about your own friendships, take a moment to reflect on the people around you. Have you ever realized someone you trusted wasn't actually a real friend? Or maybe you discovered who your real friends were during a difficult moment in your life. Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else see things more clearly. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like it and share it with someone who might need to hear this message today. And if you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss future videos about real-life psychology, relationships, and personal growth. I'd really like to hear your thoughts after watching. What part of the video resonated with you the most?